Good morning, everybody. Ragnarok Ranger coming at you from the Ragnarok Theory. Another session from the bunker this morning. I decided for today I'm actually going to run through some book kind of reviews. Basically, I've got a few categories. I've got like a miscellaneous pile. I've got like a prepping, like kind of foraging pile that ties in with a few actual books, particularly about survival. Okay, I'm not going to do deep dive reviews for you. I'm going to show you what it is, say a little bit about it, and tell you how I rate it. And these are books I already have, so they're not costing me anything to buy. There's some people that you're not going to come across in my reading and stuff like that I just won't put money into personally. Ramirez. I could watch some of the stuff the guy does on telly, but once you get caught living in an hotel and pretending you're camping out, which happened a few years back, just put me off him. The other thing is, for all his skills and his cleverness, he just knows too much. I live in the UK. What actually matters to me at this point in time is survival in the UK environment if something went wrong. So again, knowing what's happening in the deepest, darkest jungle of Perugia or whatever, I ain't going there. So it's less relevant to me. Les Stroud, Survivor Man. I can watch some of his stuff on TV, but I watched a YouTube video of him a while back where he was doing survival kit reviews, and he reviewed his own survival kit and ripped it apart and said, "Oh, I won't put this in, I won't put that in." Well, why have you put your name to it then? Right, and that really put me off the guy. You have to put your name to a product that you're selling, right, and making money out of, but when you open it up, you wouldn't even have half of the stuff in there. Yeah, that really changed my opinion on Les Stroud, I'm afraid. You got people like Cody, London, and it's just like, he's an interesting guy, but I won't walk around with no shoes on in the middle of Arctic and stuff, so some of the stuff he does is a bit silly. You've got your Bear Grylls, you just laugh at him, I'm sorry. It's just like anybody who's teaching your children to drink their own pee should not be teaching children anything. Without distillation, you don't drink your own pee. No survivalist of any worth is ever going to tell you to pee in a bottle and drink it because it'll work. It won't work. Yeah, your body's got rid of that for a reason. You're putting it back in. Nonsense. Okay, so if your favourite name don't come up on my list, it's just hard luck. I've been into this a long time, and I know what I like and I know what I don't. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there who would be worthy of a mention who I haven't mentioned or haven't even come across yet. Yeah, so well, let's get into it. First of all, I'm just going to go through these few books that really to do with survival food. So one book everybody should have by now is this little Collins gem, Food for Free. It's absolutely well researched, well put together. Yeah, little book, fits in your pocket, and mate, this has been revered by survivalists, bushcrafters for so many years. If you ain't got this, get yourself a copy, it's well worth having. Going along with them, Collins gems, seashore. You would be amazed at the things you can actually eat and forage from the seashore. So again, especially when I go to places like Northumbria, I know I'm going to end up on the beach at some point. It's in my pocket, yeah. And another worthy little buy there. Slightly bigger version of a seashore book there by Collins. Just depends. That's better for my eyes at the moment because my eyes don't work as well as they used to anymore. And a very similar one for mushrooms and toadstools, because it does go through poisonous ones. And what I would always say is, if you're really going to get into foraging mushrooms, find out and learn the ones that will actually kill you or really make you ill. Once you know them, most of the other stuff at least isn't going to kill you or make you really ill. However, this alone, or any book alone, is not good enough for identifying mushrooms. go out there, do a course on it, or you know, watch some of the really good YouTube channels that have got foragers on them that know what they're doing, and you know, get your head into books and get out there and find these and look at them. Since getting this particular book I'm going to show you next, I found 3 edible mushrooms in my garden within a year. It's how it was in the Forager's Calendar. This is a must-have book for anybody who wants to go out there and eat wild foods. Yeah, so it's a really good book. It's probably not the only brilliant book out there. Again, I used to use this in conjunction with an app called Leaf Snap, which I no longer bother using. There is another app I'm looking into, and if I decide to use it, I'll recommend it if I think it's any good. But Forager's Calendar, really good book. It basically goes through month by month, and it shows you the crossovers, because this might be growing in this month, but it was season or whatever, it might be growing this one as well. Yeah, so it's the variables are there. The guy's been a forager a long time, so if you're not going to listen to him, who are you going to listen to? Okay, going into more of a miscellaneous pile at the moment for you. Dave Canterbury. Love him and hate him. He's a very, very clever guy. Yeah, he misled people a little bit on his background to get on telly, but got him where he is today. This, to be honest, is a good read. Some stuff in it's worth knowing, but basically, I don't live in the States, I live in the UK, and a lot of this stuff is not really too relevant to me sat here in the UK, but yeah, it's worth a read. It's worth a read. This is just a little gem that I came across. Obviously, like our kindred, we go to woods, and we're going back there this year in June, and we use Dutch ovens to cook, and that is just a really cool little book. Robin Donovan, yeah, and it's just got some really cool recipes in. I'm not going to start showing you one here. You know, it's $14.99. Yeah, this is worth a little buy if you're in a Dutch oven cooking, especially if you're going to get out there in woods and you want a few new ideas. Don't need to rush, but obviously I've got quite a few books to get through. This one is just worth having. It's about whittling. Not only do you learn to make some fun things, it's teaching you like knife skills. Yeah, that are going to actually help you in the long run with your woodcraft, your bushcraft, survival. Yeah, so little book on whittling, but you can get loads of them. Just come from Amazon. Okay, another book that I really Bob Carr's, former chief SAS tracking instructor. Okay, this is a really, really good book. I have used it quite extensively and I've practiced tracking drills from it, and it's amazing how quickly you pick things up. You think you don't need to know about tracking, but in bushcrafting survival sense, yeah, if you've been having to hide out somewhere and you find some fresh prints and you can tell that they're only a couple of hours old, yeah, if it's an animal, that might be food. If it's a person, that might be an enemy. Yeah, so there's a lot of relevance to tracking, and it's one of the skills that most of us, I have done myself, neglected, keep coming back to it, learning a bit, yeah, but really good book. This one, you don't have to be becoming a mountain leader. They keep updating all these different editions of it and stuff, so this is the revised 3rd edition, for example, from 2004. I bought it in 2005. I was doing my summer ML course in the UK, and this was the recommended book at the time to get what you need to know about being a mountaineer in the UK, in the summer environment at least. A lot of the skills crossover is in there. Everything from security on steep ground to navigation, it's all in there. That is an absolutely amazing book. Any edition of it would do, but the most up-to-date one is going to have all the access laws and updated in it, so really, really good book. Highly, highly recommend that. Getting a bit of a dry gob, bit of coffee. I was actually amazed how many books I've actually got when I went to dig about. This one, all relevant to people that are new to Battlefield. I'm not bad with them anyway, but this has got some good stuff in it. And, you know, learning about your radios, your capabilities, especially in the SHTF, because you can't have Battlephones on without being on an HF channel, but if you're on HF, someone's listening without a license, you cannot transmit in SHFT. That isn't going to matter. Like I keep teetering about whether to do a foundation license or not. This is just a cool little book what I got for not Yule this year, the year before, and Forest School. Yeah, it says for grown-ups, but it's quite good for kids as well. It's just got absolutely all sorts in it. So it's not specifically a bushcrafting book or a survival book. It's a good skills book, yeah. And the difference is as well with it, it's easy reading. It's even got little stories of mythology about tree lore and all sorts in it. So it's a real mixed bag of stuff, and that is really worth its weight. 20 quid. Yeah. So what Lisa paid for when she got it there. Right, there's only 2 more piles and one's really small. So, prepping. Yeah, I don't do a lot of what we call prepping. I think I've said before, I'm trying to make sure I'm secure for 3 months. After that, you're down to survival skills. I haven't got the space or the inclination to try and do long-term storage for this year or that year. It just don't work for me. But these are books, prepping wise, that I found to be helpful and worth a punt, worth a read. Okay, some of this kind of stuff you can actually buy on your Kindle, where you get for next to nothing, like 10 different books and stuff. They're worth having, but if you can't charge your Kindle, it's useless. So, Prepper's Pocket Guide, good little book. It's got all sorts in it, yeah, and it hasn't got the UK price, but it's going to be about 10, 11 kind of quid looking at the dollar price on it, yeah. Burning car, yeah, 101 easy things you can do to ready your home for a disaster. That's a little book, it weighs nothing, that you can have with you. It's just some knowledge in your hand. This one by Rich Johnson, some of it's fanciful, I've got to admit, but some of it's alright. Basically, Outdoor Life Urban Survival Guide. I don't know, it's kind of what I love it. It's made up of loads of like different tidbits of information, which is good, and some of it's good, especially if you're new to stuff, you know. But survive a workplace shooting. Has he ever been in a workplace shooting? Don't talk about it then. I'm sorry, you know what I mean. It's just like you need people with that kind of experience. Prevail in a riot. Has he prevailed in a riot? Who knows? So, like I said, some of it's really fanciful kind of stuff, and then survive an abduction, nabbed by the cartel. Who is this guy? So like I say, and when I got it, I expected better. Let's put it that way. But then you've got stuff like using a fire extinguisher, how to put a fire out with fire extinguisher and stuff. So yeah, some of it's alright. Some of it's just fanciful, comic book stuff. Okay, so how much does it say? Yeah, it's about a tenner if you're willing to spend a tenner. It's some bedtime reading. Yes, absolutely. It's not a price on here, but all these books range from between like 10, 12, 15 kind of quidish, some are a bit more than that. But this one, The Prepper's Water Survival Bible, anything you need to know about water storage, purification, filtration, this book is really good for it. Yeah, and I know a lot about that stuff, so I know it's a good book. That's well worth your money. Urban Prepping. Again, they're all similar kind of prices. These have all come from Amazon. Not full of loads of pictures, this one. It is more theory, so if you don't mind that and you don't mind reading, I can look at pictures, I can read text, it doesn't matter to me. But again, a lot of good information in that one. This one, The Ultimate Prepper's Survival Handbook. Face any scenario with life-saving strategies, self-defense techniques, and long-term self-sufficient living off-grid. Archer Moss, worth your money. It's all right, especially if you're coming new into this kind of thing. These are people that have been doing it, and it even goes into building a survivalist community. You know what I mean? Handmade self-defense systems, electronic defense home systems, setting up your perimeter, stuff that I've gone over myself in past on stuff, yeah. Basic first aid, trapping systems to catch birds and small animals. It's just like, yeah, it's quite a good book. That's worth your money. Well, best one of lot. This is really good. I've still got some little bits to get through to do with sewage disposal and stuff like that, but this guy is a proper prepper. He's been doing it a long time, and yeah, it's Creek Stewart. He's also author of a book called Survival Hacks. Brilliant. I don't think this would really matter what country you're in, because a lot of these stuff that he shows you, it's all split up into nice little sections. Yeah, so you know exactly what's coming in each section. And I've got to admit, I've skipped a couple of sections that were less and gone on to the ones that I wanted to read first, then gone back and filled in the gaps. But it's that kind of book. You can do it with that. It's really good. Now this is a guy. It's a kind of. He got a medal. He actually helped the police track down Barry Pruden, who killed 3 police officers, I think in late 80s, early 90s, something like that. I'm not sure if it says in here in the introduction about the author. 1982 received his medal, so about 81, 82-ish. And people kind of looked at him as I'd say, well, what did you guess? It's like, it never seemed to do out definitive right up to when they're catching him, but there's a really interesting document. It's called Eddie McGee. Look him up on YouTube and find some of the stuff, because it's like, when he explained it, he says they never gave him chance to properly start tracking this guy, because they'd get a sighting, they'd get him there by helicopter, he'd start looking around, they'd get another sighting, they'd put him back in a helicopter and shoot him off. So instead of letting him start at the beginning of the trail and find the trail, it would all bits and parts, and finally he did track him down, and he got shot dead by police, which he needed to be. You know, you don't need people running out with guns shooting coppers or civilians, do you? So Eddie McGee's complete book of survival. I'm not even sure how easy this is to get hold of anymore. Brand new at £9.95. I think I paid a £5 second hand because I wanted it in my collection. It's not a bad book, but to be honest, the final book that I'm going to go over is just better. Yeah, but Eddie McGee, ex-para, you know what I mean, and a hero. He actually did in end prove that tracking works, but he got a lot of stick for not finding him quicker than that. But I actually agree after listening to the guy out down to the police, and the procedures were just absolute nonsense. But yeah, if you can get hold of this, it's worth having in your collection, isn't it? Because you got a hero in your hand. Why wouldn't you? Right. This is my absolute hero. 26 years in the British Army. Ran the survival school for the Special Forces. Learned his craft on active service in the jungles. Yeah. And he's called John Lofty Wiseman. Okay. John Lofty Wiseman wrote the original SAS Survival Handbook. and I've got a few different copies of it yet to show you. But you can all, he actually, I mean, he's an old guy now, but it's like he still comes to Bushcraft Show. I hope he's there again this year because I can just sit and listen to him, even if he kind of tells some of the same tales again and again. He's just what he's forgotten. We'll never know because he's done this for real, isn't it? Combat zones and everything. True Way Survival School is his brainchild, his school. He's taught all the instructors, and you can actually get all of this as well, which is quite good. It is quite a good little skills video if you want to see something done practical and you're new to it. The SAS Survival Handbook. Now, this is a bit of a gimmicky version of it, and to be honest, my eyes don't see it well anymore, but it is the original survival handbook. Yeah, but it's in a little camouflage cover with a little compass on, and it's just a cool little thing. I can't even see printing that anymore without my glasses on. Then you've got the SAS Survival Guide, another Collins Discovery Guide, but when you open it up and look into it, John Lofty Wiseman. So his book is exactly, again, the same book. I know because I just know just by looking at the actual survival kit in it, and you know, it's been done in so many formats. This book has been released in more countries than any other book as far as I know, translated, and he's gone on to do other books and stuff like that. But yeah, this guy is my hero, really knows what he's on about, and all his books are out there. Is this one still out there? I don't know, because let me have a quick look for you. 1986. Yep, the copyright 1986, and this came out. Plus, yeah, it was actually reprinted in 1986 in hardback. It was only printed twice in 1986. Right, so this is either the first or second print edition of the original SAS Survival Handbook hardback cover, and this is not something you'd carry in your backpack. This is for learning at home, and it's absolutely an amazing book. Yeah. What you've got to remember about Lofty is he was a soldier. So this is written a long time ago, and the early part of it is like with the survival kits, it's quite relevant to what or an SAS soldier, trooper might have needed in them days. Because like now I won't put a bulky condom in my survival kits. You can get water bags. I don't look for the green fluorescent thing that you used to carry for lights. You can get the little lights. So you have to use your brain a little bit. Some of the stuff you can change out for more modern stuff that Lofty just didn't have available to him at the time. Right, but if you go back to his initial survival kit and you can use that, you're doing well if you can survive on that. Bit of a long video, guys, but hopefully helpful because of the amount of books I've managed to fit into that. Yeah, so any of them books I'd recommend if I've recommended it. I've told you what I thought of them. So remember, we don't my head's gone on it. We don't train to survive, we train in case we survive. Survival is an instinct, and instinct is everything. That was a senior moment. Take care out there, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.